Welcome back, where today we're talking about Battlefield 2042 Season 2 overall. Now, to be honest, it felt like Season 2 has been and gone pretty quickly compared to how it felt with Season 1. I mean, as of recording, we are presumably exactly a week away from Season 3's launch, and more details, and assumingly a trailer for the Battle Pass, and the first images of the new map are to come in the days ahead. But I wanted to put together a video to talk about my thoughts about the entire season and everything that's come with it, more informally than I usually would, less fact talking, more opinion talking. Also, I just want to say, look at this cool reload I found in Battlefield 3 Portal. Not sure if this one has been found before. Anyway, I want to talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to Season 2 and get that out of the way before we get onto the stuff that I really liked, and that is the Liquidator event. Now, I personally quite like this event just because the mode was a lot of fun to play. I definitely preferred 8v8 over 16v16, but DICE has said themselves, and a lot of the community has said, that the way that the skins were communicated to the player, how much they cost, which ones are free, which ones weren't, perhaps wasn't done in the best way. Now, as a first attempt, I think Liquidators is absolutely fine. I know this is going to be improved in the future, and to be honest, I'm willing to give it a pass because the skins look cool, even if most of them were paid for, and the mode itself was fun. It was fairly easy to grind through the free skins as well. You didn't have to put too much time into the event, which I do appreciate for the people that can't play this game 24/7 as a second job. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about Season 2 overall. The most boring part about Season 2 for me was the Battle Pass. Similar to Season 1, it was perfectly serviceable, the skins were cool, there felt like there was quite a lot to earn, I felt like I got the right amount of Battlefield coins to spend on the things that I wanted to, but skins just aren't that exciting for me. I can admit, some of them do look cool, but to be honest, it's my least hype part of any season. Now, in terms of content, we had a few guns coming over from older Battlefields in the form of Portal weapons. For the most part, these fit in pretty well. There are some that I run, including the AKS, the M16, the Rex, that I feel fit completely into 2042, and they don't really need too much balancing at all. Add the P90 to that list as well, the P90 is pretty damn good. But there are some that I feel are a little lackluster, maybe in their recoil patterns not resetting as I think they should, or their damage just not being that great. But it is, after all, a bit hit and miss when taking weapons from older games and just putting them straight into all-out warfare. I do think this was the right move though, for definite, because adding more weapons to the roster is needed. The only thing I would say is in future, I would love for Vault weapons to actually have skins that you can put on them just for that extra bit of customizability and to give you something to grind towards. We also didn't have as much fiasco in this season as we did in the last season when talking about the 2042 weapons brought into the game. The Avantis, even though it was slightly overpowered, was alright. It wasn't as bad as the BSVM. The M40 was a nice little choice but can be outplayed by other guns. And the P51 is a reliable sidearm, but nothing to really take too seriously when put up against most primaries. All of these I think fit fairly well into the game, and I have tier 1'd all of them, save the P51. So I can say they're a lot of fun to use, but I didn't find myself getting very frustrated every time I get killed by one like I was with the BSVM back in Season 1 when Exposure launched. And like Exposure, I find myself liking Stranded similarly. Perhaps not as much because Stranded's art direction I don't find as compelling as Exposure's was, but in terms of gameplay, it's a compact, fun little map with a lot of different places for infantry and vehicles to fight. It has fallen off a little bit since it came out in terms of my opinion of it, because when I first reviewed the map, it was pretty early days, but now I can safely say it sits around the A tier, not the S tier, and it can't really quite match Exposure, but it's almost there. I also think that the EBLC RAM was a perfect fit for this map. Because you can dart around it pretty quickly, it's got good turning even though it does roll sometimes, it's got powerful weapons, seats for 4 people, it's a perfect little squadmobile to get yourself around the map in. Overall, I like the EBLC RAM a lot and more than I like the stealth helos from Season 1. Obviously there are also all of the obligatory updates, quality of life improvements and bug fixes that are very appreciated, and I won't cover them all here because I have videos pretty much detailing all of those and how much I appreciate them, but I do just want to say they have helped the game experience get much better, and I do hope they keep coming. And they have been a big part of making this game feel more polished throughout the season. We've also got Crawford as a specialist with his turret. Personally, I haven't used this too much, but I've seen quite a few people running it, but it's a good suppressive tool, which is what it's made for. We also saw the addition of the flashbang or concussion grenade as it's called in the game, and to be honest, I haven't used this one too much either, but when you get hit by it, it does its job, stops you from ADSing for a little bit, blinds you, and you can also choose whether it blinds you completely dark or brightens your screen like a traditional flashbang, which is a really good accessibility feature. But again, I haven't used it too much. but it's a fun little tool to have if you want to run a non-lethal. And that leaves the last part of Season 2 in this brief retrospective, which is the map reworks. And surprisingly, this is possibly my favourite addition. I love getting new maps like Stranded and Exposure, but if I go back to the old ones and they feel plain and empty compared to the new maps, I find myself being switched off from them. I still get that to some extent because all the maps aren't reworked yet, but having a redone Orbital, which is my favourite map of the game, a redone Renewal, and a redone Kaleidoscope has just been amazing. It's helped the map flow so much, it makes the game feel more cohesive and militaristic, and it's something that I really hoped they would do when I first played the maps at launch. And it seems like they're going to keep pushing for that as we move forward, because we're so close to Season 3 now, and with that we'll bring Manifest and Breakaway being reworked, which are going to be great by the looks of it. So yeah, all of these have come in this season. And I would say my only real complaint about the season overall is the latter part of it. These last few weeks has felt a little bit empty. As a content creator especially, there's not really been much for me to talk about apart from the Easter egg. But to be honest, it wasn't too bad because we had awesome community events like Frontlines going on to fill that void. But I would like a little bit more content on the back end for Season 3 possibly, because it felt like we were just kind of waiting around for Season 3 at the end of this season. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been my short little retrospective. And to answer the question, was it enough? I would say yeah. Season 2 brought some great reworks, some vault weapons, some new weapons, new vehicle, and a new map, and a new specialist, and ultimately kept me playing the game every single day that I could. Anyway, if you do want to come and talk to me or anybody else that loves this game, please do consider joining the No Salt Discord. We'd love to have you there. We're talking about Season 3 currently. We're all very excited for it. If you need to brush up on your lore, go check out the Exodus Archives by Comet. It'll tell you all you need to know about the build up to Season 3, what's happening, who we're fighting, what we're fighting over, and what we're fighting for. As of recording as well, I don't know if the Season 3 trailer is coming tomorrow. By the time this video goes live, I should know. If it is coming tomorrow, we should be reacting to it, and that reaction should be up on the same day. So stay tuned for that, and I look forward to when that trailer eventually drops with all of the info that we're waiting for, and hope to see you all there. And let me know what you think about Season 2 down below and your hopes for Season 3. This has been Jammy Hero. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.